Hello BookTube, this is Kelly with Books I'm Not Reading. It is day 3 of Litmas, so super exciting. Before I get to the Litmas prompt, I did want to show you guys, you can kind of see it a little bit here and there, the garland. I made a video while I was working on this earlier and talked about how the holidays, we just put so much pressure and expectation along with it, and that we just need to take care of ourselves as well. And I have not been taking my own advice. Today's lesson for Kelly has been, when you try to please everyone, you please no one. When you try to make everyone happy, no one is happy. And the other great thing about today is I am going to be spending 5 hours, is it? At least a good 4 hours at skating with Santa. Hence the Santa earrings. I'll zoom in there. Yeah, I can't tell you how excited I am to spend an afternoon with hundreds of children making ornaments and Santa out on the ice skating rink. Oh God, I just wonder, like, how did I get into this? But anyway, so Kelly is a little stressed out at the moment, to say the least. Like, right now I am washing clothes, drying clothes, the dishwasher is loaded, I am trying to clean up cat puke, and I'm trying to make a Litmas video, so there's just a little too much plot at the moment. But that leads me to our prompt for today, which is the best book that you've read this year. And I have to say with great sadness that I don't really have a best book of this year, unless you want to count the 2 rereads that I know are 5 stars, which is Your Christmas Carol and The Scarlet Letter, and knew going into them that they were the best books, that they were great books. Alrighty, I had such great hopes for Davita's Harp by Chaim Potok, and there were parts of this book that I found really compelling. For a while, it really, really felt like A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. But the thing about coming-of-age stories is that people have to grow. And the main character in this, Davita, is 9 for a huge, huge amount of time in the book. I think she's 13 by the time the book is over. But parts of it were just absolutely fascinating. It takes place in the 30s, and you see the events leading up to World War II, especially, and I'd never read about this, especially in regards to Franco and the fascists in Spain and what happens at Guernica. And then in America, the things that are going along with the growing communist and socialist movements, what's happening with the Jewish community, of course, is always a big component to his books, I'm sure. This is the only book by him I've read, but yeah, so I really wanted to love this book, and I wanted to come on here and say, like, oh my gosh, this is like the Jewish A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, but it's just not. It just, the end of it just chugs along, and there's some very weird, I don't know, I want to say, like, kind of sexual things that happen in the book that, I don't know, just kind of, ugh. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for a few scenes in the book, but I did really love Davita. I loved her harp. And so this was almost there. The other book, and a few of you have asked me about this, and I'm sure this has been talked about on BookTube a ton, is Lincoln and the Bardo. I'm actually really surprised that Lincoln and the Bardo did not win the Pulitzer, but it won the Booker Prize. Like, it seems backwards to me. So I really actually, when this came out, thought that this was going to be that year's Pulitzer, and I think I may have even checked it out and had it at home like right before the announcement because I was that sure that this would be the book. But instead it was Less by Andrew Sean Greer, which I think is a great book. And this is a great book in a different way. I just didn't emotionally connect to this book. I felt like I should have been, I don't know, like more heartbroken or more emotional somehow. I think what George Saunders does in Lincoln and the Bardo as far as form, as far as kind of blurring the lines between, not really blurring the lines, but blurring sections of nonfiction, first account stories along with a novel. So I find that really fascinating and interesting. And of course, Lincoln, I mean, every president wants to compare themselves to Lincoln. He is revered greatly in this country, although I think I was saying to one of you in a message that, Lincoln was assassinated, and so it's really hard to say what his legacy would be if that hadn't happened, how we might feel differently about him. So anyway, I liked this book. I found some really admirable things in this book, but I don't know. However, so having said all of that, even though I don't have a best book of the year, I did read a lot of things this year that have been sitting and lingering on my shelves for a long time that I haven't touched. I read them. I realized I don't like this. This story doesn't resonate with me, or I don't care. And a couple of those things are actually signed copies. The Hopes of Snakes, China Boy, like, man, no, like, I will find a way to delicately take out the signed page and pass that book on to somebody else, because they were not for me. There were things I admired in both of them, but they're not worth shelf space, essentially. So anyway, a little bit of a mixed bag this year in terms of reading, but it was good to read some things that had really been like weighing on me, like, oh, I've had this for more than a decade, I haven't read it, like, oh, I need to get to it. So that it was good in that sense. And I also read more this year than last year. So, and who knows, I might finish something else before the year is over. I have no idea. If I have to spend a lot of time skating with Santa, that may not happen. Anyway, I love you guys. Happy Litmas Day 3, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.